What in the magician happened here? Oh boy, it's another time for What in the World happened this weekend. Smash the crap out of that magician's rod button so you guys don't miss out on more content. Boy, if you have been keeping up with the spectacle that has been the Overframe collection this weekend, kudos to you. It means you watch the content and I appreciate you. Magician's Rod has actually kind of gone crazy on today's open market. And the reason for this is, well, to be expected. Dark Magician actually performed very, very nicely out of Japan out of this last weekend, which was honestly a lot more than what I was kind of expecting, actually. Most people weren't necessarily, like, happy that, Dark Magician was... No, I'm ecstatic the Dark Magician's back, man. This is the first time in forever that Dark Magician has surpassed Blue Eyes to become a meta deck. We have builds out here that are playing freaking Karibo, of all things. Do you know how cool that is? To be able to say that we have Karibo seeing play. But the new Dark Magician stuff has really opened up the consistency to today's meta. And I actually think that that's kind of a cool thing. The Magician's Rod gets you access into the consistency side of the deck. You got to remember, being able to get access to the Magician of Black Chaos Max is something fun that the deck is doing. Being able to kind of lock the opponent out of playing the game seems pretty fun. So that's where we're at right now, everybody. We've got Dark Magician that's getting, a spell card bought out from 150 years ago, and it's just, it's a time to be within the meta right now. I don't know if I'm super excited to see that this is happening, but I think we'll kind of have to wait and see how the meta develops around this, because I think we're up to like 10, 11 Dark Magician list out of the weekend that performed. I've been trying to cover as many of them as I can, because, I just think it's really exciting to see Dark Magician doing its thing. Master of Chaos. Let me read this card to you for a second. It is a Dark Magician plus a Chaos or Black Luster Soldier. So the first thing you're going to think here is, oh, so this is just interaction support for what's coming out with the new Black Luster Soldier and Chaos stuff. Yes, I mean, I'm not going to deny that. I mean, I think it's crazy if you think otherwise that this is doing the thing. But you can also fuse with the Chaos Max, which some of the builds are already playing. But your payoff for this is on Fusion Summon, when you target a light or dark monster in your graveyard and special summon. Oh, so I get to bring back whatever I fused off with this. That's disgusting. We can also tribute a light and a dark monster to banish all monsters the opponent controls. And then if this fusion summon card is destroyed by battle card effect, you can target a spell in your graveyard and add it to your hand. Wow, that spell recursion? You're telling me that I just get a lot of cool benefits from wanting to play this card. And yes, that is very much the truth behind this. We started to see Master of Chaos getting bought out over the weekend because there is application to be had with, the new Dark Magician stuff, but this is more of a futuristic card that I feel like is going to see a lot more success just as time kind of goes on. I don't really think that, this is one of those modern broken cards, but I think having future application is going to be an actual important thing to kind of think about when you're approaching, these sorts of, cards that you want to have. So, I don't know. Master of Chaos is not exactly a crazy new tech choice out here, but I think it's enough that you've got to look at this genuinely with good eyes and actually give it some consideration, because I think it is kind of worth it to want to explore. I mean, once again, Dark Magician hype has been insane this weekend. Goyo Defender. So, Yummy out of the weekend found out, oh hey, we can actually do things now. We can actually do interactions with Yummy. We can do all the little fun things that we want to do with the deck. And now we can use Goyo Defender 150% more consistently, which was not on my bingo sheet, honestly. I didn't think that... Well, I mean, we all know Goyo Defender's a broken card. Nobody's going to deny that fact. Like, the fact that you can make one monster that just pivots into, all of these different potential monsters for you to work with, yeah, that's kind of insane, honestly. Any synchro that can put 2 free synchros on the field for you to make the Ashura King is pretty good. And once again, I mean, that's your payoff with this, right? The reason why you're wanting to play this is because Ashura King is a broken card. You want to be able to have, I mean, it's multi-attacking pressure that, forces the opponent to kind of re-look at you and go, I have to actually do something about this. And that's kind of like the thing I kind of like about this interaction is the Ashura King is a very, very, very broken card for what it is. So, all things considered, am I surprised that, Goyo Defender proved itself to be, good? No, not at all. This was something that I feel like most of us already knew. But to see that it actually has application in Yummy right now, and it actually is generating some results, I think that's the important part that we've got to actually look at and consider with, your developments this week. So, Yummy is doing well. how many Yummy variants have we seen? We've had the Kamal list, we've had the Fiendsmith list doing well, and now we have this version coming out. So Yummy continues to evolve pretty nicely throughout kind of this evolution. Let's talk about Pendulum Treasure. So, Pendulum Treasure is probably one of the most interesting spell cards that you can pick up, because it says, add a Pendulum monster from your deck to your extra deck face up. And you can only activate 1 Pendulum Treasure per turn. So what's going on here is the next 3 archetypes, the Archmage, the Doomsday, and the Elf Notes in the upcoming set are going to get a pretty strong upgrade in the future of all 3 of the archetypes kind of being tied together. Yes, that's right, you heard me say that correctly. All 3 archetypes are going to get to do some kind of stupid stuff, and it's going to be a fun, great time, and we are all going to be happy. Hunky-dory with this. This also means that you got to watch the Pendulum Treasure, because being able to, do the interactions with the new Pendulum stuff is important, but this is also kind of, a watch to, Doomsday, to the Archmage, and to the Elf Notes. Right now, obviously, the best of the variants has probably been Doomsday. It's been doing pretty well. Elf Note kind of was doing well pre-over-collection. Over the weekend, though, it felt like the deck wasn't necessarily living up to its hype. But, we're still in the early stages in developments of this, so I don't really think that that's all too surprising to say. All the Dark Magician players are just happy that they get to play their, cards. And then, to see Elf Note just kind of falling back a little bit is actually not too worrisome, to say the least. But keep an eye on this. I feel like this is just one of those cards over time that, we're going to have to kind of monitor to make sure, at least the highest rarity version. There's low rarity ones, which is a good thing. Contrast Hero Chaos. I'm not surprised to see that Hero players have been picking this card up. The fact that it's an old starter deck card that doesn't actually have, reprints underneath its belt, other than, old ancient first and unlimited copies. This would have been a card that, judging by everything that they have done for, all of these upgrades over time, I genuinely am very surprised that this one seems to have dodged getting, a higher rarity card. Now, do I think, we're eventually going to see a Contrast Hero Chaos Starlight Rare? Yes, this also should be an overframe. There is a card that should be celebrated in this game. I don't know why it's not Contrast Hero Chaos, because it's just such a gosh darn good card for what you've got to work with. So, over time here, we've been seeing this card steadily rise, and the reasoning for this is pretty simple. Hero players just want to play the deck. We're in an era right now where Yu-Gi-Oh's kind of revitalizing itself in the good deck department for Dark Magician. Heroes, Heroes have been really getting the good support lately, and it's good to see that a healthy Yu-Gi-Oh is the one where dare I say, the anime decks can do well. It's kind of like a renaissance right now, honestly. And I think it's kind of interesting. When Magician's Rod's being bought out, crazier things have happened. But this is this is kind of taking the cake, to say the least. So what do you guys think about what in the world happened here today? Just another day of seeing the market reacting to the crazy things that have happened over the weekend. You guys have a good rest of your day, all right? Patrons, thank you.
Thank you so much for watching. Check out these other videos.